My wife never revealed how she felt about me, and it was worse than I thought. My wife and I had been together for 10 years. We met in college, grew up together, and built a life I thought was solid. Sure, we had small arguments like any couple, but I never doubted her. She was a professor at a local college, and even sat on the board. Her students loved her. She stayed late to tutor, helped them find internships, and genuinely cared about their success. I was proud of her. Then she started changing. It was small at first. A new designer purse, a pair of expensive heels, perfume that cost more than a nice dinner for two. I wasn't jealous or anything, just confused. We weren't struggling, but we weren't in a position to drop thousands on luxury items either. One night, while we were getting ready for bed, I picked up her purse and turned it over in my hands. "Since when do we buy stuff like this?" I asked with a smile. "Did I miss the lottery win?" She laughed and took it from me. I got a raise. That made sense. She had always made more than me, which never bothered me. I kissed her forehead and let it go. A couple of weeks later, we were drinking wine at home, talking about future vacations. We had always dreamed about seeing Italy together. The more we talked, the more ridiculous our ideas became. I was feeling good, loose from the wine, so I joked, "We should start an OnlyFans to fund this trip." I expected her to roll her eyes or laugh. Instead, she froze. "That's disgusting," she snapped, setting her glass down hard on the coffee table. "I would never do that. People who do that should be ashamed of themselves." The sudden shift in her tone threw me off. I raised my hands. "Hey, it was just a joke." She shook her head and muttered something under her breath. The night lost its fun after that, but I figured she had a bad day and let it slide. Then she started staying late at work more often. It was nothing new for her, but now it was nearly every night. One evening, as she was rushing out the door, I leaned against the frame and asked, "Another late night?" "There's this girl in my class," she said, grabbing her coat. "She's really struggling, so I offered extra office hours to help her out." That was just like her, always going the extra mile for her students. I smiled and kissed her goodbye. A few weeks later, I spilled coffee on my laptop, and it completely fried. She had left hers at home, so I used it to check my email. That was when I saw the notifications. Messages popped up in the corner of the screen. "You're so sexy, worth every penny. When's the next video dropping?" I sat there, staring, my stomach twisting into a knot. I clicked the messages, hands shaking. The screen filled with texts and comments from men. Then I saw the link. I clicked it, and there she was, my wife, on OnlyFans. And she wasn't alone. The same student she had been helping was in the videos with her. I felt like I had been punched in the gut. My ears started ringing, and my vision blurred at the edges. I closed the laptop and just sat there, trying to breathe. That night, when she walked through the door, I was waiting. "How long?" My voice came out colder than I expected. She frowned, setting her purse down. "What?" I turned her laptop around to face her. "How long have you been lying to me?" Her face went pale, then her expression hardened. "Why were you going through my stuff?" I laughed, but there was no humor in it. "That's what you're upset about? Not the fact that I found out you're making porn with a student?" She crossed her arms. "You had no right to look at my messages." "I had no right?" My voice rose, and I took a step closer. "You've been sneaking around behind my back. And for what? Money?" She rolled her eyes. "Maybe if you made more, I wouldn't have had to." That shut me up. For a moment, I just stared at her, waiting for her to take it back, to realize what she had just said, but she didn't. Instead, she sighed like I was the one being unreasonable. "I didn't do anything wrong. I wanted more for myself, and you clearly weren't going to provide that." I felt something inside me snap. "You're unbelievable," I said, shaking my head. "You don't even feel guilty, do you?" She scoffed. "I was going to tell you eventually." I grabbed my keys. I couldn't stand to look at her anymore. As I walked out the door, she called after me. "Don't tell anyone," she said, her voice almost pleading. "This doesn't have to get out." I turned back to face her. "You didn't care about me. Why should I care about you?" The next morning, I sent everything to the school board. She was fired immediately. Then I filed for divorce.